Wait. What the hell is going on? Ah. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, wait. Okay. September year, that year. I cannot accept. I was not one to mince words. The hulking beer of a veteran brazy could not hide his disappointment, puffing out his bottom lip with a sign as he stood before me. Not again. You gotta resign yourself to the inevitable one of these days. I had been in debt to this man who was incapable as he was kind since my first days in the guild. Truly, I didn't wish to be a source of vexation for him, but the wish alone was not enough. I have neither the experience nor skill to be worthy of A rank, so I cannot accept your recommendation. Bracers are assigned ranks based on their strength and achievement, with A rank being the highest on paper at least. Its members are the very face of its beloved organization, and as such, ranks are metaphorically badge of honor to be worn with pride. So how had I received multiple recommendations for the most prestigious rank in 6 months? I spared no effort in working to hone my craft in the years I joined after school. Certainly I won't classify myself as a doe-eyed newcomer, but to have my name among the greatest of the guild? Absolutely not. But after turning down my first recommendation, a second one had come from the guild's headquarters in Le Mans. If you ask me, you got both in spades. There's something else making you lead towards, no? Zin's awkward silence told me he had been pressured by headquarters to pursue me. I folded my arms. Sitting aside, wherever you are overestimating me or not, which I believe you are, I would very much like to not stand out any more than I already do. I've been getting offers to be a model, to star in films. It's been frankly exhausting forcing them to give up. Now, what do you think would happen if I were to accept a promotion? I will be neck deep in the same mess all over again. Okay, that makes sense, but sorry. You are one to punch in the beauty and brown department trying to lay low a lost cause. With the kind of fans you are getting, maybe you should consider the silver screen after all. Who knows? You may walk away with an award from the film festival. Zin's laugh was hearty in contrast to my own moused. From much as I respect him, he could do with showing a little more decorum. That's not funny. I understand being in the public eye to the same extent is inevitable and I have accepted, but I'm a bracer, not an entertainer. I wasn't trying to be funny though. You gotta find a way to let off some steam, or you are gonna break when we need you to put together the most. Happens to the workaholics like you more often than you think. I didn't think I was pushing myself as much as he implied, but I also couldn't deny there was nuggets of truth to what he'd said. We were getting off topic. Just why is headquarters so desperate for me to become a A-rank bracer? I can see the logic behind it. Well, you see, starting with what you know, the reparation from Erebonia have defeated up our economy this year, so all kind of new investments are pouring in from across the continent. Now I'm not economist, but people goes where the money's at, and where people go, conflict follows. That's just how it is. I saw where he was going from there, electing to expand upon the rest myself. So now we have dispute between mega corporation and a stark increase in Jagger activity. These are in addition to the known growth of private military companies and increased tensions between mafias. You got it? You think it's bad now? It's only gonna get worse from here. That's why the man wants you up security here while promotion or our rising star, you. They say it as a good PR for the guild and a deterrent to any potential threat that are thinking about stepping out of line. Perhaps I was more vaguely aware of their goal in using me than I wanted to admit. This didn't make hearing the answer any more satisfying. If they have you asking me to play my part, then surely they have asked you to play your part already. You have become 4S rank, haven't you? If you know of a better deterrent than having an S rank in Calvar, then I like to hear it. Zin stretched the back of his head awkwardly upon my statement. I just don't think I'm up there with someone like us. S isn't even an official rank, and even if it was, just look at me. You think a guy like me is a picture-perfect advertisement for the guild? I think you have the skills, achievement, and build to be one, yes. A curt, quick response. Alright, point made. I can't force you to take the recommendation, and I'm not about to be a hypocrite. Just, let me know if you change your mind, okay? With that, the conversation came to an end, and the guild's bracers gathered to begin our routine meeting of delegation open request. This is how I prefer things. It was better to stay like this. There was a point when I wanted to be something more. I can no longer remember when that was. Something during my childhood did happen, I'm sure. I just recall realizing how small the world truly was. So I prayed and longed to become someone I was not. It was around high school when I thought I became that someone. Those years were unforgettable. I will never forget the unexpected reunion that was had there, nor the priceless treasure I had gained. I truly thought I'd gotten closer to who I wanted to be. But in the end, it was just wishful thinking. My hand once held was now empty, and I was still a nobody. But I refused to stand still. I grew unrelenting in following the new path I chose for myself, ignoring my family's objections. My motivation had changed, however. I no longer possessed that girlhood desire of becoming something more, of becoming someone. I just needed to keep moving, however aimlessly that movement was. Well, aren't we looking gorgeous today? Why are they hiding her? With a wishless wink, a familiar veteran welcomed me to his stable. He was a tall, affable man who lived by his own rules and never hesitated to lend a helping hand to others. He reminded me much of the Crossbell's Cedar Branch receptionist from the few times I visited for work. I know you? The place was nearly empty today. I sat down on the counter seat farther from the door as he approached. The usual, sweetheart? I stopped by here after a hard days of work on occasion, and whatever I did, I always order coffee and a slight snack. This was not a coffee and snack kind of day. I want something with alcohol. Oh my god, okay. Not at all fazed by the fact of my order, he walked away and started preparing my drink. It wasn't long enough before he returned and placed an elegant glass in front of me. I think this is a little more you than a beer. It was a beautiful cocktail composed of two colors, a clear blue like that of a priceless sapphire and a calming jade. No doubt he could tell how disquiet my heart was and was trying to soothe it in his own way. I thanked him inwardly before daring to broach my other reasons for not coming. Have you learned anything more about what I asked? Apart from being a skilled bartender, he was also a well-known informant. He was extremely well connected to the guild, the press, and even the criminal underworld, but he was very careful never to overstep his bounds with that last one. Indeed, I found him to be a valuable source when needed. I wish I could say yes, but not even Dingo has any promising leads. Okay. Still, I think you got your eyes on the right direction. It's only a matter of time before they get smoked out. I see. Since the guild's investigation turned up nothing, I was hoping he would better point me in the right direction, but it seems this was going to be a lot harder than I hoped for. Things will work out, just pace yourself and keep at it a little bit at a time. That also applied to that cocktail. It's a strong one, so don't drink it all at once. I tilted the glass delicately between my fingers as he stepped away. My mind continued to wade through the case I was following. There had been a stark increase in illegal drugs on the market. Not just any drugs either, but ones of highly addictive, dangerous variety. It's because when they say that, I remember Crosswell. The demon drugs? I don't know. Ayun, who were the criminal underworld in Calvar, ordinarily limit their professionally in the market as a part of their rules. Limiting the numbers of drugs was of course far from the ideal elimination of them, but none could deny that the syndicated action had brought some semblance of orders to where chaos often reigned supreme. Yet the past few years had seen a worrying number of criminal groups rebelling against these carefully curated rules. One of these groups was surely behind the change in the market, and all of these held a presumed connection to two missing people. The guild and police had been tasked with searching for two children below the age of 10, a boy and his young sister. They simply left the house one day and had not been seen since. Evidence suggested they came from a perfectly ordinary family on good terms with one another, so the likelihood of them running away was slim. We mulled over the suspicions that they had been abducted for ransom earlier on, but not a single demand was made following their disappearance, so it was quickly ruled out. Despite a healthy amount of manpower that was coming from both sides, neither the guild nor the police had yet to find them. That said, the search so far had not proved entirely fruitless. Their last known location was fortunately established, and it was unfortunately a popular site for illicit drug trade. The working theory from other here became that siblings witnessed a transaction and were held captive by the criminal parties involved as a result. If that held true, then the longer it took our parties to find them, the greater the danger their lives were in. The abductor won't do anything right away. Murder was sure to leave trace evidence behind, but it was only a matter of time before they resort to that or trafficking up. With each passing second, the odds of the children being returned unharmed were dropping to zero. At the same time, all of this was pure speculation on our part based on a slight established location. For all we knew, this had nothing to do with the criminal underworld at all. The potential danger thrown around made inaction an agonizing task, but if there was no evidence to go on, action was impossible. We could forcibly arrest any suspicious people on sight and make them talk should we wish it. But that would be a direct violation of the Guild Code and its founding principles. The Brazil Guilds always sought to be an ally of the people first and foremost, so resorting to the Criminals Act to obtain evidence was out of the questions. If only the district adherence to our code didn't stop us from being able to resolve so many crimes, there'd be putting the people we sought to protect in danger. It was the ultimate impasse. As I found myself pondering on this impossible dilemma, the brazier had placed themselves in a familiar face came to mind. He was a childhood friend with blue-tinged unkempt hair, though he had lost contact with one another. Some years before, he one day returned to the city as suddenly as he had left it. Soon after starting up a peculiar professional that skirted the line of legality to a dangerous degree. The kind of profession that could easily involve himself in the affairs of many an unscrupulous individual, or so I believe. Just what did that idiot think he was doing? He walked out of my life without warning and walked back in such the same. I spent so much time searching for him. I knew our reunion would be an awkward one based on how we parted, but for him to return after all that waiting, all that searching, and divining to some questionable enterprise so different from my own was almost too much to bear. It gave rise to many concerns as a brazier and many more concerns as a friend. And the one that bothered me most was, why hadn't he come to see me? Did he have any idea how worried I was about him? How worried I am about him? Irritation built. I took a large gulp of my cocktail, but the alcohol only fanned the flames of anger burning in my heart. They burned bright and brighter still, becoming a dazzling white that projected countless transit images of the past. Then, just as quickly as it flared, my anger faded in an instant, replacing itself with a very different emotion altogether. Why did you leave? The words slipped from my mouth without me realizing it. Make me feel downright pitiful once they were said. If someone were to see me in this state. You still haven't moved on, I see. A familiar but unexpected voice called out to me, causing me to jump slightly from surprise. I quickly regained my composure. I just have a few choices words I like to say. My response faced calmness as best I could. I couldn't help but think I had more than a few choices words. Really. But following up with that would aid my annoyance in a way I would rather not further. Oh, I imagine you have more than a few. Right, of course he will see right through me. The respectable man that sat down next to me, I thought our running into each other was no coincidence. He was another childhood friend of both myself and the one I was lamenting over, and someone who followed a remarkable different career path from either of one of us. If it's still bothering you that much, why not just go and see him? You already have his address by now, surely. How could I, with how much time that's passed? As I mumbled my response meekly, I thought I could hear the man next to me chuckle. Well, then I suppose there is no need to rush things. With your lines of work, I'm sure your path will cross naturally enough in due time. I didn't expect that kind of response. You make it sound so romantic. Lest you have forgotten, I don't struggle with expression what's in my heart the way he does. Now, since we are here, how about a toast? I will, make your next one non-alcoholic. And lest you have forgotten, I can handle my liquor just fine. Thank you very much. We then spent the rest of our time reminiscing about the past. It had been too long since we were able to just sit and talk like this. It wasn't that he and I had become strangers, but both of our jobs made it a trying task to meet even at the best of times. By the way, I've heard word you turned down becoming an A-rank bracer again? Of course, that won't escape the CID's ears. The information itself wasn't confidential, but that he already knew something, however, unofficially it was. Entirely typical of him. The Bracer Guild focused on protecting civilians, while the CID focused solely on the needs of the president in office. The groups were neither enemies nor allies. They simply had very different goals where work was concerned. I know it isn't my place to tell you to accept the offer, however. He paused before resuming, his tone becoming markedly more serious. The times we live in demand a new hero, that much is clear. I had no idea what a realist like him was trying to say by implying I was a hero. But before I could inquire further, he changed it to the subject that was likely what brought him to find me in the first place. Now, if you don't mind, I have something that will be of interest to you regarding those missing children. My eyes widened from the unexpected change. He continued. We have identified the group that made that district their turf, as well as have compelling evidence of a crime taking place. You may proceed as you like in cooperation with the police. I can't believe it. On a fine silver platter, he had given me just cause to act, and since the information came from the CID, there was no reason to doubt its veracity. I felt it. I was on the verge of rekindling my girlhood desires. All I had done till now was follow life where it was taking me. And yet here I found myself before a new path that could lead me to that someone I once wanted to be. This deviation terrified me. What if it led to me losing someone again? What if it ended in more pain? My fear began me to stay idle. I was a fragile human being at my core. I knew it well. It made me wish I was anything but. It inspired me to take up the sword and rebel against any whispers of weakness, and I played the part admirable on the surface. But if I were forced to face cruel reality in the future, I wonder, would my heart be able to take it? As I stepped to the left, I shifted my center to the gravity and unleashed a flurry of slashes against my first foe, using that momentum to thrust both myself and my blade toward my second. Two low-ranking mobsters fell to the ground. They were members of a mafia I had been clashing, and right now I was in the thick of their den of operation. My friend gave the guild and police the execution we needed to take a more direct stance against our targets. His information was vague, however, so we still had to discern their precise location on our own. I, Zin, and several other bracers agreed it would be best to split our forces and attack several locations in unison for this part of our mission. Based on what just transpired, it appeared my location was the lucky one. There's the intruder. Hey, I've seen her. She's from the paper. 2 more reinforcements arrived, but I was hardly going to give them time to act. I raced it forward, swinging my sword twice as I passed them, and they fell before they could even raise their weapon. I advanced. Mobsters appeared in droves perceptibly. Word of my arrival had already spread. There she is. She's that bracer word been going around about? Well, damn it, what if they immobilized her? Don't be chickeny, shit. It's one woman, we can take care of it. They then charged me in a mass, at least 10 of them, with more reinforcement on their way from further inside the building. Forcing my way through with how many they had in their number was risky. I knew the sensible thing to do would be to wait for the other bracers to show, but I also had to consider, what if my waiting effort the Mafia at the time to wield the children as a hostage? Weighed the 2 options, I concluded that whatever reduced the chance of that happening was worth the cost. I needed to push on and settle this now. Besides, I believe it, I had nothing to fear from this pitiful group as they are. Were they seasoned combat veterans, they could have used their numerical advantage to implement complex formation and corner me, but they did no such thing, the amateurs. And they dared to believe they held a candle to Heiyun's martial arts? In the face of one of my experience, their bloated size was more of a hindrance than a help. They won't be able to utilize even half of their potential against me. I first had to position myself and then appropriately. If I could ensure the gun-toting wielders among them they're in each other's line of fire while rounding up the close-range fighters to a slight spot, they will soon have bigger worries. Friendly fire. The vulnerabilities would then spell my victory as I cut them down. 1 down, 2 down. The precious seconds after defeating a foe were the most dangerous. Advantages. Just as a man had fallen, I was on another before they had time to adjust to my incoming blade. There was no pattern to who was next by design. I chose my target with stunning erraticism, throwing them into complete disarray as more collapsed to the ground. 3 down, 4. I will go around them in a wide circle. I will move between them while remaining ever aware of any surprising assault at my back, away through them till I encounter the ones others back. The ones who never even considered I would be able to reach them, they were spread so carelessly. The men took up their guns with newly alert panic threw across their faces, but their fate was already sealed. They were powerless as I closed the gap between us. 5, 6, 7. With over half their number down, the remaining mobsters were quickly losing their will to counter. Some attacked out of adrenaline-induced desperation, calculating their next moves so poorly that they fell into my long-set trap and accidentally attacked themselves. At this point, the battle was as good as final. All I had to do was continue taking them down till I was the last one standing. There were smaller groups I encountered on my way through the building, but I was able to disable them with little effort. The path they opened up for me eventually led me to their leader. He was a middle-aged fellow passing restlessly around an unpleasantly crowded room until I entered. It twitched in fear upon the very sight of me. Why are you here? Where are my men? Kissing the floors. I answered so calmly and constantly that he balked in disbelief. That's impossible. I sweat my balls off to build this group from the ground up, and you are saying a girl like you tore it all down just like that? I ignored his crude language and drew closer. As I thrust my sword till it sat just between his eyes, he let out a squeal. Well, I'm no ordinary girl, I'm a bracer. And don't worry, I didn't kill them. They had only been knocked out or restrained. You'll be seeing them again soon, in prison. I shot a darked glare in his direction as the tip of my sword wandered down on his neck. Now I have some questions for you and you will answer them. The man nodded emphatically, his whole body trembling from fear. 2 children, a boy and a girl under 10 years old, disappeared last month. Your people abducted them, didn't they? He nodded. I knew it. Then, where are they? What did you do to them? They are in a room further inside. They're alive. At last I could breathe, a sign of relief. Why, my most fundamental objective when coming here could be fulfilled. Next, I needed to ask him more about his group. I thought you all seemed far too weak to be charged of this district of the city, but after coming across your account book, everything fell into place. You are working on behalf of someone else, aren't you? He was so unsure of how to respond that he fell completely silent, but that alone gave me my answer. Who is it then? Tell me. Is it A? C? A? What the fuck? I can't. He flinched in fear as I pressed him, resisting as though he genuinely could say. Then just as he opened his trembling lips to speak, I hear a strange thunging sound from outside the room. I step away from the man, my sword still firmly in hand. Crunch. More sounds there. The monsters I fought through mere minutes before were now nothing more than distorted, mutilated piles of flesh and bone. Not just one or two, every single one of them, without exceptions, had been reduced to bloated mounds. Some were without heads, others had their organs ripped from their bones. Then there were those with their skulls caved in as leaking pulverized brain matter, or the ones their hearts pulled and squeezed. Each corpse was different, each corpse was unbearable to look at. The plain hallway I traversed with all due speed was now covered in stinking slimy red. Who could have done something like this? The slide was so awful that my free hand, now clenched, shook from disgust. When was it ever necessary to go this far? What could anyone have to gain from this? Wait, no! I realized I had just made a very careless mistake. I turned and hurried back into the room I was just in. I was too late. The mafia's leader was floating in the air at the center of the room, as though some unknown force was holding him up by his chest. A monstrous sword piercing through my chest, a single streak of blood dripped from his unspeakable mouth. There was no room to believe he was anything but dead. Like all the others in the hallway, he didn't even have time to scream before his life was taken. Who are you? I barked at the center of the room, trying to drown out my instinctive fear with anger. At a glaze, only the corpse and I were present, but if I strained my eyes, I could also see the faint contours of another distorting the space around me. It must have been some form of active camouflage. I would have thought it a basic courtesy to give your name before asking another's, charming ace of the Bracer Guild. It was a man's voice that projected through arrogance, as though he were above all other as a matter of course. I instinctively readied myself for battle in response, but my action seemed not to faze him in the slightest. No need to be spoiling for a fight. I'm simply here to take out the trash after they were carelessly enough to leave a trail for the CID to follow. Was I really talking to a fellow human being? Or could he speak of such gruesome murders in those terms? Are you a business partner of theirs? No. You must be from the group above them. Very good. He then swung his blade to slide and toss the corpse off to the side with all the respect of a used cigar. How could you treat people you work with like this? People, have you your ears? I say nothing about taking out a person, only trash. The same applies to the garbage piling up in the hallway. They have always been so, even before they stopped breathing. It was clear that communicating with someone of his nature was impossible. I dismissed calm reason for an intense, all-consuming anger so great that my entire body couldn't stop trembling. You monster! Before I knew it, I had sprung into action, pointing every drop of my strength into my blade to launch a swift, unavoidable strike. But he repelled it with one vertical swing of his own. This one exchange was enough to tell me that his strength was well a league above me. He parried my blow at the most perfect instant, cancelling out the force of my attack with so little effort that it barely scratched the surface of what he was capable of. The active camouflage did nothing to hide the monstrosity nature of his cruciform sword either. Its design combined silver and black in an unholy fusion of darkness and light, as if chaos itself dwelled within its very blade. It was no common weapon. Even if I continued to give it my all, my odds of winning against him were extremely slim. But at the time, my instincts were screaming at me that I could not allow him to live. I charged again. If attacking him from the front wasn't going to work, then I would have to go from his side. He blocked that attack with just a little effort. But I wasn't done yet. I refused to stop moving, slashing a third time. I showered him in a flurry of them, each one faster than the last. When I finally reached my physical limit, I darted in a new direction, attacking him from behind. I put my Versi soul into one overwhelming attack, aiming directly at his rear, which I could only just make out through the camouflage distortion. I got him. However, the second I became sure that victory was within my grasp, his cruciform blade carved a great arc through the air in a furiously spinning slash. I was able to instantly defend myself against the blow, but the force of it sent me flying backwards. I was fortunate enough to not have sustained a direct hit, but my body shook from now being able to fully cancel out its massive weight. Still, I forced myself back to my feet and glared at his form. The difference between us was night and day. It felt as though he could manipulate the very flow of battle, much like a master of martial arts who understood the true nature of all things. He paid no mind to my pitiful attempt at bravado, and gave a short laugh before speaking. Impressive, you put up more of a fight than the rumors had led me to believe. What's your goal? What are you trying to do with all your strength? I expect him to reject or ignore me, so I was taken aback when he paused for a silent moment of thought before answering. An interesting question. I suppose to instill fear. Fear. I almost doubled my ears. Fear is at the heart of all we know. Domination and servitude, order, harmony, and production. All of it existent because of fear. That is why I seek to instill fear in its purest form, much like the You really are a monster. Continue your fruitless attempts to stop me and you will understand what I mean in due time. He lowered his blade. As a parting gift for assisting me in my house cleaning efforts, I will let you and those children go. Keep that far too precise blade sharp for our next meeting, Bracer. With that, he turned to leave. Wait! Just as I expected, my hand, the ground below him emitted a bright glow, and by the time that glow had faded, he was gone. Glow, faded glow. Or an anguish, or it has a sword, it should not be campanelle. He likely used the same teleportation spell that certain other criminal organizations were known to rely on. Cedric? His departure also released all the strength I had left in me, not from relief, but from the exact opposite. I was so overwhelmed with frustration that I let him leave, so afraid of what he may go on to do because I couldn't stop him, that I lost the strength to even stand. Of course, this is just who I have always been. I haven't changed one bit since the day you left me. I'm still the same powerless girl I was back then. My work here wasn't finished yet. I walked to the next room. I opened the door and was greeted by what appeared to be an old storage space. There, across the hall, I found who I was searching for. The brother and sister pair were crouched against the wall, the boy trembling on the floor, and his sister stood close by. It's okay. I'm here to help you. I kept my tone as gentle and reassuring as I was able. The girl smiled, while her older brother continued to hide his face. I slowly walked towards them, carefully, not to make any sudden movement, but as I did, the boy shook his head vigorously. His whole body trembled more the close I got. I thought he were telling me to stay away. The answer from that man flashed in my mind. Fear is at the heart of all we know. These poor children were very much in fear's clutch. No matter how gradually I was enclosing the distance between myself and the boy, trying my best not to provoke him, his body language showed he continued to reject me. We were now within arm's length to one another. His shaking grew more violent, and though he opened his mouth to speak, his voice refused to come out. It's alright. I smiled a most comforting smile. After that, I reached out behind me. I grasped the blade of the knife that was being thrust towards me. I turned swiftly, my fingers never letting go, and found the one gripping the hilt to be none other than the sister. Wait, what? Wait. Again. Wait, what? I reached out behind me and grasped the blade of the knife that was being thrust towards me. I turned it swiftly, my fingers never letting go, and found the one gripping the hilt to be none other than the sister. She had tiptoed around my back while I was kneeling to meet her brother and tried to stop me from being. What the? She was a bit startled by my halting her attack, but otherwise she stared blankly forward, emotion on her face nowhere to be seen. I suppose he was right about fear. It controls everything we do. You must have been through something terrifying if it made you resort to this. No doubt they were now conditioned by fear to attack anyone who came to the rescue. I paid no mind to the blood from my bare hand, slowly gripping to the floor. The cut from the knife was nothing compared to everything else in the moment. My first priority instead was to reassure the girl that I meant no harm. But we humans are capable of more than giving in to fear. We can fight it. With courage, we can fight it. Your brother was doing just that now. He may have been gripped by fear, but he still fought his hardest through his action to alert me of the danger his sister posed. Even if it took all he had, he wanted to keep me safe and to keep her from committing an irreversible wreck. It was thanks to him that I noticed what she was trying to do. You don't have to be afraid anymore. I'm a bracer. I will keep you safe. I took the girls into my arms. You are a bracer. Even her voice was devoid of emotion. That's right. I'm here to help you. Oh, I think I've seen you in a magazine before. Something Blade, I think? That's right. The nickname is a little embarrassing, but I'd be happy if you remember it. That way, as long as you hear it, you will know I'm here to keep you out of harm's way. I tightened my grip around her as if to stop anything more from hurting her, I surrounded her heart with my warmth. It really will be okay, I promise. I noticed her eye twitch just slightly, and before long, her eyes filled with tears. Soon she began to sniff, at first a small one here and there, till they gradually grew more pronounced, eventually turning into uncontrollable sobs. She had finally been liberated from her fear. As for me, I had stayed my course. I was too afraid to deviate from my current path. Still, I had chose this path with pride in my heart. I didn't think it right to turn my back on it now. But I wasn't going to let it be an aimless journey from now on either. And so, it was another day in the Edith branch of Calvar's Guild. It sounds like the mafia was trying to copy what that other organization of assassins managed to pull off. I was discussing the recent case with Zin. The siblings had indeed been abducted because they witnessed an illegal transaction. The mafia involved the thought to mimic a group of assassins known for raising children with the intent of turning them into professional children. Their attempts, thankfully, proved as unsuccessfully as their attempts to remain covered in selling drugs. The CID found them, and whoever they were working for purged them. Hell of a way to go. If I hadn't been so incompetent, maybe they wouldn't have been purged at all. Don't beat yourself up about it. The guild's priority is to keep civilians safe, not criminals. I don't wanna say they deserve it for getting involved in organized crime, but it is what it is. Try and put in that frustration you are feeling in more personal growth instead of letting it eat you alive. I was told that while the siblings were going to need physiological counseling for some time, they were fully accepted to recover and go back to their everyday lives. My meeting with them had triggered something inside me. I came to realize that something needed to change. I had to take some kind of step forward. Even if it ended in me falling to the floor in some dramatic fashion, I just needed to pick myself back. With that in mind, I accept my multiple recommendations. The times we live in demand a new hero. Blue jacket. Hey! A blue jacket! Because I pre-ordered a blue... Doing so made me think of what my childhood friends say to me. No wait. I didn't believe I had what it took to be a hero. But if I could be even just a brief one, unable to give it the people hope and banish the darkness ahead, then that was reason enough to keep going. Maybe that could make me somebody enough to fight alongside the real hero once they came to light. Should we get down to business? Zir turned to face me, his classic broad grin even broader than usual. It'll be a while longer before the official paperwork arrives from the headquarters, but I'm sure they won't mind me speeding up this part of the process with how much they wanted this. The Republic now has a bracer who reached A rank, at the same age as the Empire's purple line. Congratulations on your promotion, a line out clear. Beauty's blade. Ah, wait. Forced connection to astral link. The whirlpool of casualty engulfing Erebos and the fated plan has at last been unraveled. Though the bell ringing in the end in the end of days has yet to be silenced. You, children of Zemuria, have earned your moment of peace until the time comes to face the final hour. Until you, with hope and fear in your hearts, must walk new trials. Wait, because it's a weird way to say bye. Everything that awaits in Calvard. Everything that I just witnessed. Read it. Ah! Oh my god. Oh, you guys. Wow, what a waste there. Damn. You know, I like I mean what I was going to say. I don't know if to play it in Japanese or in English dub the next Trials game, you know. That is the idea that I wanted. I don't think there is space, or maybe there is. No, there isn't. What happened? Oh god. I need to. Oh no. Oh god. No. Wait. I don't know if my save file of tries into. Wait. Because then I'm gonna start dancing with this song. Yeah. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah. I don't know. English tube, Japanese tube, English, Japanese, English, Japanese, English, Japanese, because right now I'm playing Persona in Japanese. After that, I guess I can compare English. Oh wait, I can see here Japanese and English of the voices and everything. Wait, I didn't hear everybody, but in Cold Steel 4, since the voice of Ren was kind of like Cold Steel 4 was kind of like I hear it in Japanese and I was like, that is a perfect voice of Ren in Japanese, because I mean at the end of the day in Japanese is the original one voice and emotion that they want to give, the same as the English dub that they want to be provided also with those type of emotion too. But I don't know which one gives a big impact. I don't know why. Yeah. After this game, or before this game, I think the idea was me to replay the Cold Steel. I mean, Zero Asher. I mean, Tries in the Sky was Japanese. Zero and Asher was Japanese. It's just Cold Steel that I played in English. The only thing is that it's in the channel that is in English, so I can hear it in Japanese and compare and see what's up and decide at the end. Yeah, because sometimes when they talk, even in English, sometimes my eyes are kind of like, oh, well, what are you saying? No, okay. But yeah. Okay. To wait what awaits. July it was? When I don't know, but I need to compose myself, and this was a long journey. And more that I did in this journey, I did became sick and and the overwork and all of that kind of stuff. But you guys know it. I never record without feeling bad, or because at the end of the day, I cannot be me. I will be like, if I for myself. So yeah. I mean, I finished into Reverie June or July. It was going to come, right? I forgot. Very May, right? Very May. Where we are? May? Are we May? May. We're under May. So we got June and July. When is going out? God, I got a cell phone for something. No. Let's see here. Runs into breakdown, breakday, breakdown or breakday. Daybreak. Okay. Okay. No, release date. Here. I think here. Are you giving me the release date? July 5th. July 5th. We're in May. We're starting May. We are starting May. We're starting May. July 5th. We're in May. I can continue. Sky second chapter. What about Sky the third? The thing with Sky the third is that the doors, I saw the doors, like I left the doors. So I think I could jump Sky the third, and because it's the door and the in-game, like, you know, like I saw it, you know. Now from there, Zero and Azure, which I mean at the end of the day I did play it with the English sub and Japanese voice before it came here. Now that I got Japanese voice and English sub, and then we got the Cold Steel Saga that the World Channel got it in English, so it won't make sense for me to replay it. I mean, just the main parts. Whatever comes, whatever happens, whatever it does. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. If you guys want, I don't know.